I think we need to again reach out to faculties like they have signed the campus agreement with the CYPE software, and this session is for those university. And whoever joined, thank you so much for being a part of this session. The recording will be there, and if you want to join the further sessions also, just visit this which is on the screen right now. We have a next session on 28th September. You can join the next sessions also. And today's session will be taken by our friend Mr. Vicente from Spain, from CYPE team, and he will take you through the BIM solution for architects and the designers. So Vicente, over to you. And we have a people from different part of the India. So look forward to hear from you.
Hello everyone. Well, thanks everyone for giving me the opportunity of presenting this session. I think it's going to be very useful for most of you, or I hope that for all of you it's going to be amazing. Well, thanks for attending the session. And at the moment we are, well, some students. You have some questions, and on the way, please, there is a chat where you can type your questions on the right panel. There is a question mark or three dots where you can write the questions that you might have during the presentation, and I will try to answer. Well, probably I will answer all of them at the end of the presentation, because while I'm presenting is a little bit difficult to read and at the same time speak. Okay, so great. This is framed into the program of four webinars that I will be the presenter of all of them. I'm Vicente Plaza. I'm an architect, and I work for the CYPE software company, which is a really important software company for architects, engineers, and construction managers. We are the top leader in the world in the structural software. We are also we have a huge market regarding architectural software and also the construction management. So the session of today, the September 14th, is going to be more focused on for architects, and I will be speaking how to make a first model using the BIM technology, but it is also very useful for engineers, because at the end of the day, the engineers will also need to have a base in order to place the structural elements and also place the installations. So I highly recommend all of you to continue the session, because it's going to be useful for architects, but also engineers and construction managers. Then next, in 2 weeks, in September 28th, I will be speaking in a session more focused for structural engineers, that it will be how to make a reinforced concrete structure and analyze that structure, how to analyze a steel or timber structure, and also how to analyze with the finite element methodology in order to have a very advanced analysis of the steel elements in the joints and special parts that you will need a more sophisticated type of structural analysis. On the 6th of October, I will be speaking about a whole solution for mechanical, electrical, and plumbing engineers. This means that in a building, usually there are many, you usually know, always there are a lot of installations, a lot of facilities that they have to do with the water, the sanitary water, the solar systems that they need to evacuate through pipes all the water systems and the sanitary systems, and also the air conditioning, especially in countries with a lot of heat, like in India or Spain. It is super important to have good, well-designed air conditioning systems, HVAC. But also about CYPE, which is a software in order to to design and to analyze how the fire will spread inside a high-rise building. And at the end of the presentation, I will be speaking about the electrical installations. In a building, there is also the absolute need, there's a must to have light. And for that reason, we must do a proper electrical installation, that all of that is connected through the BIM project. So all these things that I'm speaking will be connected to the same project. And the 14th of October, the last webinar of this series, I will be speaking of how to control the cost of the project. How first we will need to quickly estimate the total budget of the project. Later on, we will need to measure all the elements, to measure the quantities of the elements, the square meters, the cubic meters, and have a proper measurement and a proper accurate total cost of the whole project. And finally, in order, we will need to check the whole building in order to prevent clashes, to prevent mistakes that before the project is going into the construction site. So the last part of the project, it has to do with the checker, with the check, no? How to control the design phase, all the elements, in order to guarantee that they don't clash and touch some elements with others. And then we will prevent a lot of extra cost on the construction site. Okay, so having said that, I'm going to start with the presentation of today, the webinar 1, the BIM solution for architects. Great. The agenda of today's presentation is going to have these 4 parts. First of all, I'm going to speak about the platform that controls all the software together and all the projects. This is a platform that is really, well, it is the key of the whole ecosystem. It is the BIMserver.center. In order to continue this, the exercise that we are going to do in a practical way, you will need to register in the BIMserver.center. Later on, I will teach you how to do it, and then you can follow the presentation by registering in BIMserver.center. Later on, I'm going to show you the usual workflow that an architect will have to follow in order to successfully complete a project, a BIM project. First, you will have to define the geolocation, where the building is located, the plots that are surrounding the building with the open BIM site. So first of all, we have to define the site where the project will be located. Second of all, we will have to model and create the architecture, the 3D model, and all the architectural elements, furniture, walls, slabs, roofs. And for that reason, it is needed to use the CYPE architecture. Later on, all this information, it must be plotted into drawings, into technical drawings. And in order to do that, we will use the layout, the open BIM layout. It is a software for creating all the drawings. And the last part is to in a more advanced state of the project, to define the construction systems that the architecture of the BIM project will need. So we will have to define the interior elements in the wall, the bricks, the cement, the insulation. And the most important part of the presentation will have a little bit of a touch of how to use and model the CYPE architecture. So you will follow me, and then we will do step by step a really small project because we don't have time for more, but we will do a small cube in the CYPE architecture with the windows, with the walls, everything. And then we will export this project to the cloud. And finally, we will leave a few minutes for the questions and answers. You have some questions, will be the time to ask me. So the first part, the BIMserver.center. The BIMserver.center, I'm going to change the language, sorry for that, to English, okay? Yeah, so the BIMserver.center, first of all, you have to register here. You can do it now while I'm presenting. So you have to register, and then we will do the exercise through this website. That in this website you will be able to download the applications that we're going to use in this presentation. So you have to input your name, your email, your password, say that you are not a robot, and then register. You have to accept this checkbox and then register. Okay, I will leave 2 minutes for this registration. Have you registered, or have you had any problem with the registration? Can you please, if you have successfully registered, can you please just write it in the chat? Hello everyone, can you please type in the chat if you had any problems? Or
there is an option on the side for the chat where the attendees you can write any comments or any comments there, just in case you have any error in registering for the BIMserver.center.
yeah, because I think I will be asking a few questions during the presentation to check the feedback if you have had some problems or any issues. And it will be very useful if you can just give me your feedback, just write in the chat that you have successfully done it or not, and then I can continue. It will be very useful for the rest of you. So then I can know you have encountered some problems or not. Okay, so once you have registered, you have to access the platform, and then here you will see these 6 icons. The most important ones are the projects and the store. Basically, this is the website where you will be able to control all these BIM projects. All the information that I will be modeling using the architectural software, it will be exported here. But not only the architectural information, also the structural elements and the map elements. So basically, it will be the box that it will connect all the disciplines in the building inside the BIMserver.center. So for instance, yeah.
Vicente, sorry to stop you. Sorry to stop you, Vicente. Just in case you have registered in the BIM Server Center, I would suggest that you check your inbox with the email that you have registered, with your Gmail or Hotmail or any other user, and check that you might have received an email to confirm that you have registered, and just press on accept, and it will lead you to this new page.
Yeah.
Sorry for that, Vicente.
No problem. So in here you will be able to see the 3D view of the project, but also all the content, the documentation, the PDF, the CAD files, all this work that I'm designing and modeling, I will have it stored and connected here. So here, as you can see, I have even the furniture, I have the umbrellas, the swimming pool, everything. So it is the work of an architect. But also, if I click here and I start, I can just quickly disable the model of the architect in order to just see, for instance, the model of the structural elements. So after I have done all my architectural design, it will come the time of the engineer to model and analyze the reinforced concrete structure, and he will use another software from CYPE in order to define the concrete structure. Then I can, once all of that is done, I can easily, the specialist in the water installation and the sanitary systems will define the internal pipes that connect all the sanitary elements: the shower, the toilet, the wash basin, the washing machine, the kitchen sink, the kitchen sink. Sorry. So, and all of that is going to be analyzed, and it will automatically give a automatic size according to the flow of water that this sanitary appliance will need. And so you have to define the pipes and the connections and everything, and all that is connected because the pipes will go through the openings that the structural engineer has left open. So great. Here we have these pipes, etc., etc., and also the solar systems that he will be able to capture all the sun in order to produce a sustainable thermal energy through the water canals and pipes. So those are just some examples, but I can continue doing different parts of the building. But in order to do that, you might ask, okay, but how can I will be able to do all this? Where can I find the software that I will need to define the architectural elements, structural or electrical or whatever? So we need to download the software that we are going to use during this presentation in the store. You go to the store, and in the store you will find a lot of softwares that most of them are completely free. So it is really impressive. The software that we are going to use and touch during this presentation is this one here, CYPE Architecture. So you have to go to the BIMserver.center store and then click here, CYPE Architecture. Click the CYPE Architecture, and then you have to download. While I'm doing that, this will take approximately more or less about 10 minutes, approximately 10 minutes or so, or 5 minutes. So just click in download and install it, but in English also, of course. And then we will pass to the practical part of the presentation. Well, there are more, other than the CYPE architecture, there are many more other softwares, like this one is very important, also the connection with Revit, that is a architectural BIM software. But also you can find a software specialized in the structural analysis that is really powerful. Software specialized in bill of quantities, how to control the total cost of the building, electrical systems, HVAC systems, telecommunication, plumbing and wastewater. So there are many options in that way. And you will be able to, yeah. So in each of the softwares, you can see a short preview of the potentials that you can do with the software. Fire safety also. Great. So once that, as an architect, I would have to download the Open BIM site, this software here, the Open BIM site, in order to define the site where I want to place my building. So I click Open BIM site and then I download it. Here I have an example already made with the Open BIM site software. It's in order to create the site map and geolocation of the project and its surroundings. Application is integrated in the Open BIM workflow through the BIMserver.center platform. So these heights here, they respond to the, so here we can see a short, just one part of the city of Alicante in Spain, with the automatically generated buildings around and all the plots. And I want to locate my building in this plot because I have enough space. I have 5,400 square meters. And I believe that as an architect, I got the commission to design and create my building here in this plot, right? I can also insert the orthophoto, the photo of the city, in order to have a more accurate position of the building. Or I can, if I click maps, or I can even use this type of map that it has all the technical, all the urbanism information, the size of the plots, the name of the streets, the reference number, and all of that is going to be geolocated. So once, so I have here this one. Once I have done all my work in the BIM site in order to position and to define the actual site of the building, I have to click export. And then when I will click export, all this information will flow to the BIMserver.center. And here in maps, I can check actually all the projects that at the moment they have been georeferenced in the using the Open BIM site and the BIMserver.center. So if I click here, this one is not very nice, but let's see. Yeah, for instance, this building here. So all the projects that are visible, I can even check the actual plot where the project is located, and this information is connected, is georeferenced. And well, you can see in India there is some projects, maybe not, but no, they are not yet there are not projects that are geo-referenced in India, but there are many places like in London, for instance, we can check this small Dublin house. The system that they have in geo-reference. So it has been placed here, this small house here. Okay, great. So I have the first part of the project. Let's imagine that we have already done it with the Open BIM site. Next phase of the project for an architect is to define the actual shape and model of the architectural elements. So I can I can connect to the previous site elements, all the buildings and all the information that it has been extracted from the urban data that is collected from the municipality. And then I can define, well, so I can start creating all the elements in the architectural, all the elements for my architectural model and design. So I have already here a completed building. If I zoom in and if I zoom in inside the building and I cut the building in half in order to access the first story, I can see well all the spaces. There's a restaurant here, a kitchen, a lounge area. This is the main entrance hall. This is a healthcare center, and that's why here there are small meeting rooms here, and here there are a few bedrooms on the first story, toilet, bedrooms, right? And in the second story, we will see that it is a little bit calmer, this story. And here we have all the spaces for the rest. So we have all the beds of the healthcare center, well, shared bedrooms, etc., etc. Maybe some office table to control the bedrooms in the building. Great. And I can also use different sections plans. In the different, here on the top left corner, I have a panel that is the views manager. So I can see different views: the roof, the floor, the first story, the ground floor, and the site, the elevations, and different sections of the building. Right. So, well, this is also, well, also I can on the bottom left corner, on the bottom left part of the screen, I can access the layers of this on my project. So as you can see here, the facade, I can make the facade transparent, and I will be able to see through the building, making all the external walls transparent. This is really useful in order to control well my overall design. I can also easily just disable the facade elements. I can disable the roof. It will be the roof, and this part here is the suspended ceiling. So I will have to disable also the suspended ceiling. And in that way, I'm already checking all the internal parts, the core of this building, in order to have a better understanding and more access to the architectural element that I want to move, to change, to design. I can easily check this, change the materials of the, for instance, of the facade. I'm going to suspend the ceiling. So if I want to define to just say, okay, I'm going to change the color of this facade. I'm going to make it so here, if I edit this wall, I can see that it has a color, a material that is metal facade. I can see that I see the typology of this facade, the thickness, the used external facade, the adjustment, the floor where it's connected, the height. So a lot of data that they have to do with the wall, with the external facade wall. I'm going. One thing that is really fast to do is to just modify the color. For instance, imagine if I want to make this building a little bit bluish. I don't know. This is strange, but so in a very fast way, I can just modify the material facade, or I can just define a real material, a real texture. Saying, okay, I want to create the architectural element with bricks, for instance. Okay, with bricks. Fine. So I have here a lot of textures: wood, pavements, stones, many things. And so I can just, or even metal elements, perforated sheets, okay, curtain steel. I'm going to use a brick. Now the facade is already designed with bricks. Very easily. Imagine that I want to modify the window. This window here, I want to move it. I want to move this window. Okay, easy. It's really simple actually. It's really easy to work and to operate. I can edit the window. I can edit the window and say, no, instead of a fixed window, I want to make it a hinge window or a sliding window. And then I will two leaves. I'm going to make it to 2.4 width. So I'm actually changing the window, making it a two leaves window with a 2.4 meters width, a sliding window. Perfect. The frame, I can even change the color of the glass a little bit, maybe bluish, or with more opacity. Opacity is the transparency. Perfect. So, right, and then I have to update the opening. Well, so now I have already modified this window, and I can do the same process little by little. If I want to work in a more orthogonal view in the first story, I can, let's imagine that I'm going to insert here some furniture elements. So for instance, let's say, what can we insert here? It's complete. Well, I'm going to delete these chairs and tables and insert a new different type of table. Dining table. So you can see I have a lot of options. Those are the options from metal tables, office desks, dining tables. The material, timber, metal, square, round, rectangular. I'm going to insert a square table, dimensions 1 meter, and maybe let's see this. Let's do something a little bit crazy. Okay, so well, I have changed the table. I have inserted a new type of table. I can continue the process inserting also chairs. This is for the office, for the dining room. Can be dining room. Well, this type of table, it can be interesting. So I can insert, I don't know. Changing this one. Okay. So I'm inserting the well. So I've changed for that part of the dining room. I have changed the table, the table and the chairs. I can also insert a new wall that is dividing this dining room space. I can insert a new wall. Let's see from here. Right, so now I have divided these two spaces. Just I'm acting only on one zone of the building because it is huge and I don't have enough time for everything. But and now the last thing I might need to add is an opening. It's a door, I mean. I want to add a door. So I will add a single door. Right? Perfect. So it is just as simple as that. I can keep checking different views in order to access all the work that I'm doing. And I can see here the things that I have added on these huge buildings. There are just one. It is just one wall, one door, and a few chairs and a table. Very, very simple. And also this window here that is different. Great. So once I have completed all my work, imagine that, I only have to click export and the project will travel again, will flow again to the BIMserver.center. And I go to the BIMserver.center, and here I might see my whole project together with all the information. Also, this is the, let me check. Right, so together I have the work that I have done in the site software, all the landscape that is surrounding the architectural healthcare center, and the work itself of the building. Right? Well, as you can see, this is not changed because I haven't updated, I haven't clicked this button here. I don't want to destroy the design, okay? And then once, let's imagine for a minute that everything is already completed, that we as an architect, we have already completed the whole building, the design, and then now we want to create all the drawings, the drawing composition that is required from the client, from the people that participate with us in the project, the engineers, and also the municipality, the government. So we're gonna pass to the software that is specialized in creating the drawing composition. Up to now, do you have any questions? Do you have any things that you want to ask or that you are wondering? I see that someone has the hand lifted. La Subhaneireta has the Atuba. Well, if you don't have any questions, I'm going to continue with the next software. But please, it will be very useful for the rest of the colleagues if you can type the questions along the way. You have some doubts that you are actually wondering or figuring it out. So, well, then I'm going to pass to a drawing composition that is the open BIM layout. The open BIM layout is I can just go to the BIMserver.center store, and then I will search for the layout, and with that software, I'm going to create now all the drawings with a lot of detail that it is needed for the project. So here you can see that I have made a composition for for the neighborhood and also the context in the city. Here even the scale, the revision number, the revision date, all of that is updated. It is parameterized. So if I change automatically will change the date, it will change the sheet number, it will change the, also this is who has drawn the project and who has checked this drawing. So the first layout for the urban planning with a brief the description of the project, and a schematic section with the volumes that they represent the program, in green the dining room areas, in yellow the bedroom areas, and in red the areas, the spaces that are focused on the productive area, the meetings, the offices. So I can also check another drawing that I have made for the site, the urban planning, the swimming pool at the entrance, all the some trees when to cover to give a nice surrounding space to this project, in order to create a nice environment for the people that are ill and are resting on that project. Create the healthcare center. Also the floor plans, the layout for the floor plans are here. The elevations, here we have the south, north, west and east elevation with the graphical scale. And the exploded axonometry. So I can even reach this degree of detail. I can explode the building in the 2 stories that the building has, and then in case that I need, I might use this composition for my clients or for the team members. Axonometries, well, and sections and everything. And finally, once all of that has been made, the last part, well, Atuba is asking me at the moment if there is a way to do a realistic rendering of the building. Well, a realistic rendering of the building, you can do that, but then you have to, all these projects are, the software is made with in the IFC standard. The IFC standard is a international format that you can export, and you can import it again into a specialized realistic software. At the moment, we don't have a very specialized realistic rendering software, so you will have to export this project in IFC and then bring it to a 3D Studio Max or V-Ray in order to create a very realistic software. But my advice is that you don't really actually it is not so the results that CYPE architecture is able to create are quite decent. Actually, they are not super realistic, but they are quite okay. I'm showing now all the realistic renderings for the trees and the landscape and everything. So if I'm clicking now well, actually it is quite realistic. So I would say that you don't even need a realistic software. You can do that with the CYPE architecture even. Look at the buses, the fences and everything is quite impressive actually. In terms of the realistic software, even the grass, all the plants. So, well, answering the question to Atuba, if you want to achieve a better performance than that, in terms of the realistic rendering, you will have to export the model from CYPE architecture and bring it to another specialized software for rendering realistic views. But you can do that with the CYPE architecture if you want a fast, decent work, that it is also connected with the BIM platform, with the parallel workflow, and achieving a lot of potentials with the structural elements, the pipings and everything in a professional way, then I would say that maybe you can pass with the CYPE architecture and then use the realistic features that the CYPE architecture has. That will be enough. And then, well, so once all of that is done, finally we will be able to define all the construction layers that the building that has been previously designed with the CYPE architecture has. So for instance here, the facade of this building, inside the facade, I have this composition of the construction elements. So the construction systems that I'm going to, so here in the Open BIM construction system, what I will have to do is to define all the interior elements that it is the way how the wall of the CYPE architecture has been created. So all the internal layers of the construction elements, the clay, the mineral wood, the air cavity, etc., etc. Polystyrene, air cavity, hollow brick. Right. So I have the total thickness of the wall, and once I have already clarified and defined all these construction layers, I only have for the facades, for the roof, for the slabs. So I define here the construction layers of my elements, my architectural elements. And then I will assign this typology of the facade to the actual geometry that it has been created with CYPE architecture. The roof, etc., etc. Well, and later on, once all of that has been done, I can extract the report, the construction report of the architectural building, the types of facades that I have, the facade, the definition, the layers, the thickness, and the total, the conductivity, the thermal conductivity for that facade. Construction report, the building envelope, etc., etc. well, and even the doors and the windows. I have here a list, a report with all the construction elements that they have been placed in the architectural BIM project, in the model. Okay, so now we have one hour left. Let's try to do a quick practice with the CYPE architecture. I'm going to close this one here. I'm going to start the, well, I remind you again, you will have to download the software. You have to go to the BIMserver.center in the Store tab, and then click here and download. Okay, and then you have to install the download application. Once you have installed it, the download application, then I'm going to do. You have here a desktop icon on your desktop. So I'm going to start CYPE architecture, and once it is at the welcoming screen, then the first thing I must do is to synchronize my software with the website BIMserver.center. I have to input my email, vicente.plaza, CYPE, and connect. And automatically will be connected to my BIMserver.center platform. Also, another thing that you must do is to once you install any application that it has been downloaded from on the BIMserver.center, then you have to also install. It will be automatically installed during the installation procedure progress. It will be installed the BIMserver.center sync. There is a checkbox during the installation that it will be installed automatically. This little application, this little software is like a synchronizer, like the Dropbox sync, that it will be in charge of connecting all the. It will be in charge of connecting all the work that I'm doing on my local desktop, all the model with the cloud, with the BIMserver.center cloud. So I'm going to create a new file, new project. New project India. I will create a new project. I remind you, you have to make sure that this application is connected with your account. You have to add your own account, email and password, and it has to be connected with the CYPE architecture. Great. So once it's done, you have to create a new project India, visible, open. Atuba is asking also, is a user that is asking that what is the minimum configuration that we need in a system to run the software suites of CYPE? Well, in order to do that, it depends on the software update that you want to use. The best thing to discover that is to go to the site, it's called English, with the website, the official website of CYPE in English, and then here, if you check the requirements, products, so there's here somewhere. So, yeah, the minimum requirements are here. Well, actually, I cannot find the minimum requirements, but I think that in any computer you can install it. There is no minimum requirements. I mean, if you have an old computer, it will go a little bit slower, but that's all.
Vicente, if you want, I think it's in the FAQs.
Yeah, tell me, John.
It's in the FAQ, FAQs, I think, the general questions or the operating system, I believe. What operating system? To see what is needed.
Yeah, well, somewhere in the website it is here, but I don't remember where now at the moment. But no, in general, operation system. There's a problem with the installation instructions maybe here.
If you want to continue, and I will try to find in the meantime, so that you don't waste your time. Don't worry.
Basically, I think that there's not minimum requirements. As long as you have an old computer, then it will go slower, and you have a new computer, it will go faster. But in general, we try to make it as flexible as possible. But of course, we recommend you, as always, to use a new computer, so the process of working will go faster, of course, and it will be more easy to work with. Great. So, new project from India. Okay. So what I've done now is to create a new project, India. Click. Accept. Accept. And then it's preparing now. Well, so now here I have I'm starting from scratch CYPE architecture, and now we're going to learn how to have a brief touch, how to do a really quick architectural modeling of just a small cube house. Great. So first of all, I'm going to draw my grid in order to have a reference of what I'm doing. So here on the top right corner, I have this button here that is like a small grid. I'm going to activate. I'm going also to use snap to grid in order to make sure that my walls, the geometry of the architectural elements are they have a rounded number. They have like 1 meter or 0.5 meters, and it is better to, well, this you can enable that or disable it, but for this presentation I'm going to enable it in order to guarantee that the modeling that I'm doing has a little bit more logical in the number. Well, the numbers are a little bit random numbers. Okay, great. So we have already done that. Now I'm going to create a new layer on the left part. I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to call this layer wall. walls active. One layer for wall, maybe one layer for the roof, and maybe one layer for the windows. Windows and doors. Walls, great. So maybe one layer for the facade walls and one layer for the interior walls. Great. So have you done that? Already, I have created 3 layers: the facade, interior walls and roof, and windows and doors. Okay, now I'm going to start modeling my architectural project. I'm going to make active the facade walls, and I'm going to I will go to the first story, to the ground floor, floor 0. I'm going to start by clicking the well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the 7th button, the vertical elements. I can access the wall command. In the wall command, when I access the wall command, I have to assign a level, ground floor, okay, great. The entry mode, I have to assign an entry mode by polyline, by point, or by surface area. For this presentation, I'm going to explain only by polyline because it is easier and faster to do that. I'm going to use by polyline. And then the category, external facade. Yes, because it is a facade, great. And then the thickness, I will create maybe 0.3 meters thickness, and the wall. Okay, I'm going to start. From the 0, that is the cross between the red axis and the green axis, I'm going to draw a wall that is snapping every meter, as you can see. It is snapping because I have this button activated. 9, 8, 7, okay. I'm going to make a wall that is 6 meters long, and click enter. And now I'm going to make one wall here that is 8 meters long facade. And this one here, I'm going to make it 4.5 meters long. In order to do that, I have 2 options. I have an option that is to zoom in, and then I will see that my grid, instead of being 1 meter, is every 10 centimeters, every 0.1 meters. So I can easily say 4.5. And the other option is to zoom out and click any way in the line. And then whenever the window pop up, I can click here in the dialog and say 4.5 meters. And then it will be a 4.5 meters long. Well, and I can just continue here, making maybe 2 meters there, 5.5 here, 5 meters there. Then, well, so I've done this this kind of these 8 walls or 7 walls that they create a little bit of a two squares or two rectangles that merge with each other. In order to solve these corners here, the corners are a little bit weird. I will have to click this button that's intersection solutions. If I click the button here, accept, automatically will be the proper corners will be created. Well, now I'm going to make this wall a little bit whiter, I will say, because this is a gray color. I'm not convinced with the color. So as you can see here, color is the type of material is wall. I'm going to change the color of the wall and make it a little bit whitish, lighter. So I can just modify the color, accept. Okay. Great. Now I'm going to insert a few columns. I'm going to create a new layer and call it columns. I come back to the floor 0 and I insert some columns. One column here, one column there. So I can check already my facade with my columns. And I'm going to create now some beams that they go from column to column, and beams. I'm going to create a new floor. I will create a new floor that is at this height, in which I will place the beams. Floor 1, okay, at the elevation 3 meters, great. Okay, and now I can insert some beams. As you can see here, I have a problem with the columns. I will have to modify them. Yeah. So now I want to delete this column here. I'm going to delete it. And as you can see, I will have to move some of the columns because they are not aligned perfectly between each other. So I have to come back to the 3D view and then move the columns. We have here the command move element group, and I can move the columns. I click in Okay. So I'm just aligning the columns. The column is here. This column is also not correctly placed. And I'm just also moving this column here. Zero 0.05 meters. And this one also. I'm just redoing the work because I wasn't precise enough. Okay, so if I now see the project, that's correct. Now I can see that the columns and the beams are completely aligned. So it is perfect. And great. And then I have the facade walls. Great. I'm going to create a new layer, call it beams, and one more that is called roof, but I have it already created. Beams. I'm going to assign the elements, the beam elements to the layer beam. Okay. Perfect. And now I'm going to insert the roof. I will create a floor slab. That is 0.5. It is a roof slab. Okay, now yeah, I have to move this. This one is gonna be the roof, but the external floor slab. Screen. And then the roof. I'm going to copy this one. But now I'm going to place this the same slab on the .5, and I'm going to say that it is a roof. It's a roof slab, and I will also change the layer to roof slab. So, well, so basically, if all of that is done, you can just click export to the new one. I'm going to repeat the process again. So new project India. Anyways, I'm gonna do a quick example. So I just make a wall like that. Okay. Vertical element. Okay. Once all of that is done, I have to click export architecture, and then it will export finished. Then if I go back to the BIM Server Center projects, here I have the same the building that I was doing before. I can easily just create the roof that I was creating before. Floor slab. Okay. And then I click export. Architecture export. And then it will be updated. Perfect. So I can continue with the process. I can insert some windows. Some windows that are like that. One window here and changing the width and the height of the windows and the number of leaves. You can, yeah, and then well. So basically, this is the. If I come back to. And then I click export. So as you can see, the synchronizer, the BIMserver.center sync is uploading the changes in that architectural model. If I click here, I will see the changes updated. Here the two windows here, and I can continue doing the design of my building until create a complete building like this one here. I'm going to save. Like this one that I showed at the beginning of the presentation. So basically, this is the process of working with the CYPE architecture. And sorry, now it is the time for questions and answers. Questions and answers. As a reminder, I will show you that the process. Well, this is the building in black. Yeah. So the process for the architects is first to define the open BIM site. Second, to create the open BIM layout of all the with all the floor plan site elevations of the architectural model. Next, I will have to create the building itself, of course. And the last part is to define all the elements, the construction systems that are connected to that architectural BIM model. And if we lead step by step, keep completing this architectural BIM workflow, we will have a complete building like this one here, or other buildings, other similar buildings. Do you have any questions, or that you want to? That I haven't been clear enough?
If you have any questions, you can write them in the chat. Now is the time.
Yeah.
As well, if there are not any questions, we will be leaving our email, okay, our work email. So just in case you're going through the programs, and after this presentation, and you have any queries, you can send them directly to us through there. The email is at the moment in the chat, okay?
Yeah. You can support. You.
And you have both the email of support and my email as well, just in case. Anuj, I don't know if you'd like to add something. If no, we can end the presentation for today here.
I think this is good to go, John and Vincent. If any questions are there, like for the attendees, like they can reach out to the